Alright guys, I am very excited to announce that I have an unboxing today. I already popped it open, I have not been inside here yet though. Now this is not mine, but it was sent to me to take a look at, and I'm really happy about it. It's a Jack Wolf, and it's Jack Wolf that I have not had a chance to check out yet. After hours, baby. Oh, yeah. Looks like the wolf is in a smoking cloak, or what'd you call that? I don't know. He's got a whiskey. He's wearing like a luxury bathrobe, and he's got a sexy woman on his arm. Yeah, so this is Jack Wolf's second locking knife. It's not a slip joint. And the other one, the Gunslinger, I am really, really loving. So I'm very curious to see how this one stacks up to the Gunslinger. Let's find out. Comes with the slip, as always, and stickers. I'm not going to take that out since it is not mine. Just going to leave that right as it is. And let's go. Oh, that's a little, oh, he got the jigged tie one. Nice. Man, this is bigger than I thought it would be. So this is a little cover plate for the pocket clip. You can take that off if you want to just put it in a slip or something, and put this little cover plate on top of it. And the cover plate is jigged also, so that's pretty sweet. All right, this is definitely bigger than it looked like in photos. So we have a coffin style handle with kind of the faux bolster up here, and then the jigged tie, which I love. My other Jack Wolf slip joints are all in jigged titanium. We have the same full length backspacer that's on the Gunslinger, which I really like. It kind of makes it feel a little more traditional, almost makes it feel like a slip joint in a way. When you look back here, kind of a darker shade of blue than my Gunslinger. Since there's no inlay, there's nothing covering up the lock bar, just full lock bar. You got the relief cut right there. That's right at the end of the pocket clip. That could snag on your pants. It might be fine. We'll find out here. We got a front flipper and the fuller. Let's do the front flipper first. Here we go. There we go. Look at that sheep's foot. Yeah. We have the hand rubbed satin finish, which I really like. Same finish that's on my slip joint Jack Wolves. Let me get those out. Might as well. Got the laid back and the vampire here. So same jigging, same coating on the not coating, finish on the titanium, which actually it scuffs up really nicely. Like after you use it a little bit, you start getting some snail trails, and it starts looking really, really kind of nice and worn in. I really like it. Put those there. All right, lock bar access. Not great, but you can get in there. Reverse flick. Really easy. Same as the Gunslinger. You know, it's a thin fuller, but you don't have to make sure your finger's in it. Your fingernail's in it. You could be back behind here, anywhere, and just flick, and it'll go. So that's really, really easy to reverse flick. Very easy. It's a long fuller too, so you could do it up here. You can do it way down there, in the middle, wherever your hand just falls, and you flick and it flips. So that's awesome. The front flipper, it's a minimal kind of tab there, but it's pretty easy to get it. It's kind of the wider jimping. Typically on front flippers, you like to see the fine stuff because it grips your finger better. But this stuff is actually really grippy. Yeah, I don't see you sliding off that front flipper at all. You can do the reach around. You can do the side finger. Let's check out the blade. Feels pretty thin behind the edge. Not like crazy thin though. It is hollow ground. Really nice swedge. Kind of a typical swedge you see on like traditional sheep's foots. Where's my? Oh, I don't have it with me. It's a traditional sheep's foot thing to have this little swedge, and it looks really nice. Sharpening choil notch. Let's check that out. Looks good, man. Yeah. Starts getting thick, kind of right about there, and then your edge termination is down here, so you got room for sharpening. The edge bevel is not getting fat or wide up here at the end. It's perfectly even with the rest of the edge, so that is excellent. Same pocket clip that's on the Gunslinger. I think I wish it was a little beefier. It's really thin. In fact, mine kind of bent up a little bit, so I need to take it off and bend that back down a little bit. It's off the surface of the scale now. That's one little nitpick. I just wish it was kind of a little beefier, but it works fine. Let's try out the clip actually, since the lock bar cutout is right there. Let me put it in my pocket really quick. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be snagging on that. It seems to work just fine. That's good. Yeah, this looks nice, man. Very, very nice. Definitely get a full grip on this thing. Even got a little extra. Let's measure behind the edge. S90V blade steel, by the way. So back here we got 19 thousandths on the thicker side. 18 thousandths there, and then at the tip, still 18 thousandths. That's not super thin, but it's not crazy thick either. Let's check out the Gunslinger. I think it's definitely thinner. Yeah, we got 11 thousandths up to 15, and then at the tip it actually gets thinner at 13 thousandths. So Gunslinger definitely thinner behind the edge. You could just feel the difference. But that doesn't mean this is going to be a bad slicer. It's got a full length hollow grind, all the way up to the top of the blade. Blade stock isn't too thick either, so it might not be as this is so thin, especially at the tip here, that it's not really a hard working knife. This is just kind of a more light duty, elegant slicing machine. This is a little more heavy duty just because of the geometry we've got here. So it's still going to slice, maybe not quite as well as the Gunslinger, but it's going to be fine. And it's a little more heavy duty on bearings. Maybe because the blade is heavier, but it falls shut easier than the Gunslinger. I feel like the blade is so light here. A couple shakes and it goes, but the after hours here is definitely falling shut quicker and easier. Perfectly centered. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the overview of the knife. I'm going to be able to do a cut test with this. Big thanks to Byron for letting me do that. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it does. I'm sure it'll do great. I mean, how can it not, The edge, the edge feels nice. Yeah, quick little strop and it'll be very good. But it is not bad at all. It does not need a sharpening. Um, what else? What was I just gonna say? Boo, 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 boo. I don't know. I don't rightly know. Oh yeah. The edge looks almost recurved, doesn't it? I want to set this on something flat and see if it actually is. Yeah, it is a little bit. If you set it right here, you can see daylight through there. I don't know if that's intentional, if that's just the grind. Either way, it's not enough to make it difficult to sharpen. It's pretty freaking gradual. Um, so that's not a bad thing at all. It might actually be kind of useful cutting through material. It might kind of, trap material, kind of keep them in the cutting path. So that's not a bad thing. That's totally fine. Actually looks kind of cool too. There's like a slight curvature here from the handle to the tip. It almost looks like it does this very slightly. Maybe it's just the blade that's doing it, but yeah, right on. Actually, so the slip joint version of this just dropped recently, the Midnight Jack. It's basically this knife, but slip joint version, and I believe it's a little smaller. Same thing, how the Gunslinger is the large locking version of the Sharpshooter. There's a slip joint version of this too, same pattern, but just a little smaller in a slip joint form. Um, very cool. Wouldn't it be cool to see a locking version of the Midnight Jack? That would be sweet. This is my favorite slip joint Jack Wolf right here that I've tried. The Midnight Jack is awesome. So let's get all these out real quick. And then I'm going to tell you my opinion of the Gunslinger versus After Hours. Which would I choose? I think between the two, I prefer the Gunslinger. And here are my reasons. It's got better acoustics. This thing makes a tinging noise when you flick it. I don't know if it's coming through the camera or not. It does. The acoustics are amazing on this. Number two, I like that it's a very kind of light duty, very thin blade. It's fun to cut with. It slices so unbelievably well. I love the blade shape. It's not really traditionally what I like. I like a lower tip, but it's just fun to cut with. Since there's such like severe quick belly right here, you can almost use it as almost like a tanto tip. You doing utility cuts with this part of the blade. It's so thin that you can do it, and it's really cool. I like just the whole overall look a little better. It's kind of beefier and wider in the hand. That's how that's how the pattern is. With the gun stock pattern. And those are the main reasons that I prefer the Gunslinger. It kind of vibes with me more. But, it really comes down to aesthetics, because these are both built with the same level of quality, for sure. The quality is absolutely here, as far as, the build quality. So it really just comes down to personal preference and what style knives you like. If you like more of this sheep's foot Barlow sort of look, then you're going to freaking love this thing. The front flipper, let's see. Let's see which front flipper works better. I think the Gunslinger slightly. I mean, do you hear how hard that's slamming out? It's insane. This one, not as hard. I don't know why that is. I think it's just to do with the leverage you get. There's not as much leverage because there's a smaller space between the pivot and the front flipper here. There's a longer space between the pivot and the front flipper here. So just more leverage, I think, is really the thing, because the amount of tab that's exposed is about the same. The Gunslinger might come up a little taller. Actually, yeah, it is a little bit taller. So I think a little better leverage on the Gunslinger, but this is easy to front flip. It really is. Really easy to reverse flick. Let's see, can I thumb flick it? Definitely slow roll it, that's for sure. Here we go. It's just, it feels a little weird. I don't think I would do that really, but yeah, no, not really. But yeah, reverse flick every bit as easy as the Gunslinger. So yeah, between the two, I think I still prefer the Gunslinger. But this is great, man. This is really great. I do like the finish on the After Hours better. It'd be really kind of cool if the Gunslinger had the hand rub satin. And you know, no, I like the look also, but really it's because it's easier to clean off. These belt satin scratch lines from the belt sander look really cool when they're clean, but it just gets dirty quick. I mean, this one even, you could see some kind of smudge on it. You know, fingerprints, tape goo. When you go to wipe it like you regularly would, you know, like this, the lines are going the opposite way, so it doesn't really want to wipe clean when you go like this. You almost have to kind of wipe it with the lines like this, with the grain, to get it really clean. But on these hand-rubbed satin blades, the grain is going that way. So you can just really easily, bam, and you're real nice and clean. So that's the main reason I like the hand-rubbed satin. Not only do they look cool, but they clean up real nice. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to do a cut test with this coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be really fun. And yeah, please like the video before you head out. I'd appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.